Recently, I did a video on this channel about Serena Williams doing the Crip walk while having a sister that was murdered by a member of that gang, and how utterly pathetic that is that her and Negroes like her celebrate it and don't speak out against that death culture known as gang culture, which is heavily represented in rap. Well, John Leguizamo, an actor who self proclaims himself as Latinx, decided to try to claim Crip walking as a part of Chicano culture, stating, quote, Crip walk comes from Chicano culture, but black people's made it funkier and national, which again is something that no one should want to claim. But when you're a POC libtard, you claim some of the most degenerate and despicable nonsense. Well, not to be surprised, Negroes are upset with him. The pro blacks, FBAs, ADOS, whatever, they're just basically black Democrats. They're upset about it because if you haven't been paying attention, this whole BS alliance, black and brown POCs, has really turned on his head, especially when you have most so called black people online being cheerleaders for the mass deportations. Even though in this presidential election, they voted for a president that was going to continue to push mass deportations. And as Negroes do, though, they'll use this as an opportunity to step on the heads of people that they see as suffering, even though they're not, because, again, they're criminals that broke the law. You sure as hell can't cross over into any South American country and get benefits on top of that and wave the American flag while you're burning that country's home flag. That'd be a quick way to get you killed, if not in the streets, behind bars once they put your butt behind bars and allow, you know, to happen what would happen. And so you have this conflict, and again, it's a conflict that's always gone on. If you follow the news, the one demographic that has zero white guilt and they have zero hesitation in calling black people nigger is Hispanics. And it's been a part of a lot of the street crime and the prison crime. So again, there's always been this beef, even though they still vote together. Not so much Hispanics, because unlike black people, Hispanics aren't monolithic politically. In this recent election, 51% voted Democrat and 46% voted Republican, while knowing that Trump was going to dispatch mass deportations, which would heavily affect their community. But guess what? Surprise, surprise, other demographics of people aren't identified by their criminal element. They don't support that. So it's always a salute to Hispanics and other demographics of people that don't like to claim and brag about their criminals and see them as one with their culture like black people do. And so, anyway, I'm breaking this down because this is the level of tardiness. You got black people who are cheerleading mass deportations, even though they voted for mass illegal immigration, and they're only doing it because they're just so addicted to being petty little bitches. And now with John Leguizamo saying, "Oh, Crip walking is us," black people who should be ashamed of the Crip gang because it's killed far more people than any Klansmen have. They're fighting over it and saying, "How dare you try to culturally appropriate?" And it's funny because John Leguizamo, again, he's one of the Hispanics uh, who is libtarded. Because again, he advertised Latinx when his woke white libtard and liberal Jew masters pushed this propaganda of advertising Latinx. And again, thankfully, because the Hispanic community isn't a monolith, they pretty much fought against that Latinx description. which is why you don't hear it as much as you were hearing it being pushed a couple of years ago because they weren't tolerating it. I mean, they were literally, to use, pro black's favorite term, they were literally trying to colonize other people's culture and language with pushing Latinx. But again, John Leguizamo, a proud member of Petalwood, aka Hollywood, was trying to promote it. And so again, this is just another instance of woke on woke crime, and just further perfectly uh, sums up how just utterly liberal and retarded, which is why the terms go together perfectly. Libtarded these people are. No one should be trying to claim this dance of death, essentially. But again, as we've seen, it gets mainstream media promotion, mainstream media advertisement. I think during Kendrick's performance, he also had people wearing all red and others were wearing all blue to represent and further promote the gangs. Obviously, douchebags will claim, oh, this is trying to promote peace and unity. The reality is that doesn't happen. They're still murdering each other over primary colors, just like they've been doing for decades. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Hopefully, these people tear each other apart.